this afternoon to underscore the importance of what we are doing here. We have the chairman, Nasetan Governing Board, also in our midst this afternoon, Honorable Sir Astrop Olatunji Adewale. Please a round of applause for him. I also quickly want to recognize in our midst this afternoon our supervising director. You know, in the ministry you have various people in charge of what to do, and he has been here long before we even started the program to also show to us that he's committed to this particular program. I recognize the director, PRPA, also in our midst, wearing our cap. Please a round of applause for him. I also want to recognize in our midst this afternoon somebody who, though has left the agency in body, but has always been with us in spirit, in soul. Somebody who built almost the agency from the scratch and is with us here this afternoon, the former Director General, National Center for Technology Management, Professor Williams Owolabi Shiyabola. You are welcome, sir. And the host for this particular event is also here, the overseeing Director General of the agency. I recognize this afternoon our result-oriented leader, somebody who believes that it is only result that you reward, and it's only after result all the time that you don't reward activities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for the overseeing Director General, Dr. John Omimakinde. We have several dignitaries here. I will run through them and then we go straight into the program so that we can buy time. In our midst, representing the DG leader is Jerisu Lawrence. We recognize you. You are welcome, sir. Please round of applause for him. We also have FME representative here, OOKE Jackson. You are welcome, sir. We have Omaliko Katerina, Project Management CEO. You are welcome, madam. Ojima Okulu, Director FMY SD representative. Thank you. We have Ungachuku and Angela, FCT DSTI Director. You are welcome, madam. Please let's put our hands together for them. They are here because of us. We have representing the chairman, National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, HG Ambosa. You are welcome, sir. We also have from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, MC Chukura. We have Phillips X Temitope from the same institution. We recognize you. And we have Abrazak AA representing FMARD. We recognize you in our midst this afternoon. And we have Engineer Kayode Olushola from UNIDO. You are welcome, sir. As we get other dignitaries' details, we recognize them as we proceed. Let me say this as we commence this program this afternoon. And I also recognize gentlemen of the press in our midst. We have invited several of them and they are here with us. We recognize you because we believe whatever story we have here today, we are not going to tell our story. You will tell the story. I recognize Mrs. Angela Nwachukwu, also in our midst, Director, STD Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. You are welcome, ma'am. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now, this is the National Center for Technology Management. And as we are all aware, we are an agency of the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and innovation. Today, our focus, we are a knowledge support institution, and a lot of things that we'll be doing here will revolve around knowledge. And I want to encourage us, the best investment anybody can make in life is investment in knowledge, because it pays the highest dividends. Okay. Investment in knowledge actually pays the highest dividends, and therefore I encourage us to be part of this in soul, in spirit, and in body. We want us to interact. This is an interactive session. It's not going to be a talk show, but rather we talk from here, you talk from there, because at the end of it all, we want to have some takeaways that can help us to actually diversify our economy effectively the way it should be, so that the actualization of that thing can be done at the end of it all. To set the ball rolling, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to call on the Overseeing Director General to welcome everybody formally to this event. Please, let's put our hands together as we have him on this side of the divide.
Thank you very much, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, the Chairman Governing Board of NASATO, the Chief Executive, and Director General of Agencies that are here present, members of the leaders and members of the organized body sector, our invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to welcome you all to the National Center for Technology Management Day, which is part of the activities that those of you that have been lined up for 2023 Science, Technology and Innovation Expo, aptly termed Actualizing the Diversification of Nigerian Economy using Science, Technology and Innovation. For decades now, scholars, policy makers, academicians, and practitioners have engaged in heated debates on the major cause of the problem of Nigeria. It is believed that the brain of development in Nigeria is as a result of overdependence on a monoproduct, that is, crude oil. Recent happenings in the country have however shown that this is not only the problem. The bigger problem is our inability to diversify our economy beyond the oil sector. The overdependence on oil revenue. In fact, successive governments, they have looked into various ways of diversifying the economy. Of late, you discover that the federal government does not depend solely on oil revenue. Other aspects of the informal sector are being looked into, and that has been helping in boosting the revenue generation to the federal government. Agriculture, informal sector, and some other subnational entities, and these are the yielding substantial results. Let me say, however, there is still a missing link which is currently looking to a new direction to be actualized. The ability of successfully diversifying Nigerian economy, what is presently operational in the country, is not enough. This Expo has got provided a platform to give a searchlight on science, technology, and innovation as a binocular, as a direction towards solution. This is a good and welcome development, and it is our strong belief that if STI is well managed, the area of depending solely on oil sector will soon become a thing of the past. NASATEM as a foremost knowledge support institution and as a policy research institution in Nigeria, is convinced that the current STI policy document, the one that has just been completed in 2022, can put us in the right direction. All we need to achieve sustainable development and diversification of Nigerian economy is contained in the policy. But it appears we have not really owned it, and we have not actually known how to deploy it appropriately. This has to change. Implementing the STI policy is reviewed in 2022, and as it is, it can set Nigeria on the path of wealth. It is for this reason that management has tried to make this STI policy the centerpiece of the discussion that will take place here today. Policy provides direction to desired destination. It guides us on where are we going, how do we get there, what are the direction, what are the methods we employ, and we have to adopt to get there, and what are the indicators that will show whether they are operating, whether they are actually moving well. It point us to get to where as a nation want to be. It is clear that we want to diversify economy using science, technology, and innovation. To get there, we need to go back to the document. We need to go back to the STI document, STI policy document in the country, and implement it appropriately. For our discussion today, our agency, National Center for Technology Management, has consciously invited a highly respected science, technology, and innovation practitioner and policy analyst to help interrogate critical issues around STI policy. We are all here today. We will listen to him, and I can assure you that the little time we have to spend here will be a time that is well spent. If these policies actualize, the diversity of the Nigerian economy will be easy. This is a forum that will open our eyes to what we need to begin to do immediately in order to realize our collective aspiration of a diversified economy using science, technology, and innovation. So with the little time we want to spend here, let us be patient. As I have informed, it's going to be an interactive session. Our policy expert is here. Let us use this opportunity to benefit maximally from what has been laid before us and what can help us as a nation. Once again, I welcome you to the Saturday day. I want to assure you that the next 2 hours, like I said, will be a time that is well invested. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the overseeing DG. Please let's appreciate him one more time. Are we together? A round of applause for the overseeing DG one more time. While he was giving his welcome address, we had some people also who came in. I recognize in our midst Dr. Okpachu Emmanuel, the DG Center for Management Development. Please a round of applause for him. I also recognize Mrs. Chukura Nkechi, representing the Commissioner of Science and Technology, Delta State, in our midst. Please a round of applause for her. And I also want to specially recognize in our midst the National Coordinator, Executive Order 5, and Chief of Staff to the Minister of State, Engineer Ibiam Ogwejefo. Please a round of applause for him. Having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are going to proceed to what we have next. We are going to take 1 or 2 goodwill messages, and one will be coming from the Director General that I just introduced now. That's the DG Center for Management Development, for 2 minutes. He will speak to us briefly, the good news message from there. Please, round of applause for him. Dr. Okwachu Emmanuel, 2 minutes.
Good afternoon all. I'm representing the Director General, Center for Management Development, Mr. Bitrus Chinoko. Mr. Bitrus Chinoko is giving a good message on this program. For what is happening here is something that is in the heart of the Center for Management Development. Because in the Center for Management Development, we have a business and entrepreneurial development department, which is in line with our mandate. So, if you see any government agency promoting business and entrepreneurial development, we join hand with such agency, both private and public sector, to promote business and entrepreneurial development. So for this particular program, put up by the National Center for Technology Management, we really appreciate the initiative in bringing this program into being at this particular point of our national economic development. And from what we have seen on the here, it is a clear message that the entrepreneurs drive the Nigerian economy. So we said, more grace to the LD of the Director General of the National Center for Technology Management Development. We thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pachu. Please, a round of applause for him. I call on the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Science and Technology, Delta State, also to give the good news message from that part of the country to us. Please, a round of applause for Mrs. Chukura Nkechi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please permit me to stand upon the already established protocol. My name is Nkechi Madu Chukura, Director of Science and Tech Development, Delta State Ministry of Science and Technology, representing the Honorable Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mrs. Jennifer Oma Adelson. Today happens to be her birthday, and she just told me that she has to learn. Well, growing up in the ministry, I've always heard of NASATEM. I didn't know that one day I will be sent on a training under NASATEM. And then I was just an officer, level 8. My director was always like, NASATEM is the best training people can go and learn a lot about technology. I was like, why can't you just go to somewhere, other people will just go. I find out they can just go there and come back. He said, no, we must stick to NASATEM. And when I got into that portfolio, I connected fast. Connected so fast that even at a few months ago, we had a training on the NASATEM, and I recommended them for the other department to do same. Even trying to see how I can go to school, I said it's all book. But actually, it has helped us to learn more about technology management, research, and all that. I want to, on behalf of the state government, congratulate NASATEM for the good work, making it very easier for a lot of us who just go up into the service and with passion Honestly, the passion is what is driving me today, and NASATEM has been of a huge support. I want to say thank you, huge congratulations. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you too. For time, we won't be able to take any goodwill message again. And right now, I want to call on the chairman, governing board, NASATEM, Honorable Sir Astrop Olatunji Adewale, to give the opening remarks and then set the ball rolling for the main discussion for today. Please round of applause for him.
The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Mrs. Munilola Udo, the Directors General here present, the Director PRPA, FMSTI, other directors here present, the National Coordinator, Executive Order Number 5, and to the Honorable Minister of State, FMSTI. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to give this opening remark at the 7th STI organized by the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology, Innovation, FMSTI, and my delight stems from the fact that year in, year out, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, keeps walking the talk of delivering dividends of democracy through innovative approaches and programs. This year's Expo is a radical departure from the norm, as it is focused on how science, technology and innovation can be fully harnessed to diversify the nation's economy. While some are engaging in blinking, the FMSTI is preoccupied with providing solutions to the challenges militating against the country's growth. This is indeed very commendable. Statistics abound on the kind of economy we run in Nigeria. In fact, the most telling is the one that says Nigeria runs a monocultural economy, as 85% of our revenue is derived from oil and gas export. While naysayers may see these as not so good because of perceived neglect of the other sectors of the economy, it is also important to stress that lamenting the situation will bring us no good. Rather, critical thinking how to better the lot of the nation is what we require. This makes the focus of the 2023 STI Expo, which is actualizing the diversification of Nigeria's economy using STI, very appropriate and timely. Science, technology and innovation is relevant to all sectors of the economy. It is indeed an enabler of rapid growth and development. Deploying it to other sectors will not only open up diverse opportunities for Nigerians in terms of employment, but also boost the economy as more revenues will be generated from other areas of the economy. Let me say very quickly here that the National Center for Technology Management Day is not a jamboree. It has been carefully designed to add immense value to the theme of the Expo. The knowledge of HCI, the tool identified by the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation to use for diversification of the nation's economy, is critical. I am convinced that in the course of our gathering here, cutting-edge knowledge will be shared that will help in realizing the objective of the Expo. everybody will also attest to the fact that when you see here Professor Shimonebola, you know you will have cutting edge, discussions on that topic. You will do justice to that. I am aware that a few measures are diversifying the Nigerian economy from reliance on the raw petroleum to advancement in the non-oil divisions have been attempted in the past, and redirecting our attention to STI will surely be a game changer. I encourage us to be open-minded and receptive to new ideas, methods, and approaches that will be discussed here today. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make it as interactive as possible so as to come up with thoughts and ideas that we can collectively hone and deploy for the betterment of Nigeria's economy. I wish us very fruitful deliberations and hereby declare Nasatin Day open. Thanks, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Please let's put our hands together again for the Chairman Governing Board. He actually set the tone for what we are here to do. But there's a need for me to say something so that we understand what is going to follow now. And I'm going to share a very short story with us, which will set the tone for what we are about to listen to, so that we can respond positively to what we are going to get. Once upon a time, the American barbers gathered that they also wanted to do another wonder of the world. And to do this wonder of the world, they went to a slum in the United States of America. They picked a young man from the slum. They cleaned this man up, and they transformed the man completely, that the man became the cynosure of all eyes. He became the choice for all advertisers in the United States of America. Exactly a year after cleaning the man up, people went back looking for this man who has been the shining star of the advertisers, and they could not locate him any longer. It became a serious issue for them that we need this guy again. Where is he? Until somebody told them, did you take the picture of this man before you cleaned him up? And they said, yes. Why don't we use the initial picture to fish him out of the slum? And on getting back to the slum with the new picture, with the initial picture, less than 5 minutes, they found this man again. And they realized that what they did a year ago was just to work on the outside of the man. They did not work on the inside of the man, which is one major reason we have decided to adopt an inside-out approach. That it is what you know that can actually give you an edge in the marketplace. If truly we want to diversify the economy, there is a need for us to situate it within the knowledge economy. And for that reason, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have lined up a seasoned administrator, an erudite scholar, an STI practitioner, a scholar practitioner, the man who walks the talk. Whatever he says, he backs it up with practical examples. A pragmatic material scientist, somebody you will listen to and you want him to stay with you over and over again. Our own former Director General, the man who groomed all of us to be who we are today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Professor Williams Owolabi Shiyanbola, a research professor. Please let's give him a resounding applause. All right, sir. Yeah, I'm to this side.
Oh, Femi, I can't even see the screen here. I can't see the screen. Fine afternoon, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still going to follow the protocol, but let me just, while it's trying to make that work, I can be saying a few things. Thank you very much. Try and make it work. Is it better now? Or maybe I have to use my glasses. You think it's brighter? Yeah, okay. I think I can. Okay. I can manage. Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again. If you go through your program, you will have seen that they wanted me to speak for like 40 minutes, but I'm only going to be speaking for less than 20 minutes because the time is fast spent. And the most important reason why we are gathered here this afternoon actually is to connect with one another. Tech Expos are about coordination. Tech Expos are about networking. Tech Expos are about you talking to me talking to you, you asking questions, I'm attending. It has to be resonance approach to learning. This is very crucial. So it's not a case of where Shebala will be talking for the next 45 minutes as reflected in the program. For the sake of protocol, let me quickly move to the acknowledgement. I want to start quite rightly with our honorable ministers of the Science, Technology and Innovation, as well as the Deputy or the Minister of State. I want to recognize members of the National Assembly who are here, or indeed those from State Assembly. I want to recognize Madame in absentia, but I can see her, she's seated there, I don't know if you can see her, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry. I want to recognize all the DGs and of course the Chief Executive of a number of national innovative institutions like the Presidential Executive Order 5 and the National Competitiveness Forum, my friend Engineer Ibian and Henry. Distinguished members from the private sector, what the people I call the captains of industry. Those of you who are from LCCI, Nasima, and so on, I can see my friend here, Akawade. Thank you very much for being here. We have made our day, let me be honest with you. If you are from the private sector, can I see your hand, please? If you are from the private, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to come back to that as I make this, making this presentation. Distinguished invited guests, all our visitors, the press, of course, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to go through. I'm trying to find the best direction for this mic. Knowledge economy. We will have noticed that when we look at the theme of the overall meeting this week, emphasis is on diversification of the Nigerian economy. That's the emphasis. It's on diversification of the Nigerian economy. This paper that I'm presenting is focusing on what? On knowledge economy. And the simple reason is very clear. NASATAN as an agency of government was established close to 30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. And the reason it was established was to ensure that we have an institution of government who can act like a think tank institution, not only for the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology at the time, but indeed to drive the national innovation system. It's a think tank. It's the brain box. So that institution was established to do exactly that. And this is why we're here this afternoon. I can see that the PSs, she always would like me to start from the beginning, but I'm going to continue anyway. So, distinguished participants, the difference why NASATEM is unique is the fact that they are supposed to provide the knowledge support to drive the whole system of innovation in Nigeria. And to that extent, they connect with all the MDAs, all the 16 agencies of government under the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, etc., etc. And with that, therefore, we can see the connection between the presentation this afternoon and what NASATEM actually stands for. For those of you who do not know, they do not have any weight laboratory. It's one agency of government that all they are so glad they have is what? Is the intellectual capital. And it's of no use if it's not shared. Today, what gives a nation or an institution competitiveness is the basis of what you know. How you use that knowledge that you believe you have, and of course, how quickly you can learn something new. And that's the reason NASATEM was established almost 30 years ago. Therefore, as we are looking to expanding our sources of income, as we are looking to move and look beyond crude oil, science, technology, and innovation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can we be upstanding to recognize the presence of our Permanent Secretary? Thank you very much. You're welcome, madam. They told me never to tell your senior that is late. You are not late, madam. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, as I was speaking, madam came in, and indeed, I want to agree with everybody for giving her that honor so that we could pause to welcome her. So, thank you very much, madam. You're welcome. So, as I was saying, very quickly, I will be looking at why is it right for Nigeria to begin to talk about knowledge economy, the evolution, the emergence of knowledge economy. All over, when you go out there, you see diversification. We have been at diversification for over 22 years. And we have been doing it, fortunately. What we need now is to leapfrog by concentrating on the knowledge content of our efforts. And that's exactly why STI ministry is so critically important and is so cardinal. Now, I have to move on very quickly. The preamble 1 and 2 I've already talked about. I've already summarized 1 and 2. Those of you who have time to read it, you can read it later on. Knowledge provides critical input to innovation because innovation provides competitiveness. It provides competitiveness. It took Nigeria, I don't know how many years, almost 25, 26, 27 years before we decided to integrate innovation into that ministry. It used to be a Ministry of Science and Technology. But by the time we realized that to really be globally competitive, there's a need for us to be creative. We need creative thinkers. We need talented young guys. And they're there all over. And that's the reason I was asking for captains of industry when I started my remark. And I'm going to connect all the dots before I take my seat. So the science and technology knowledge, innovation and development. I don't have the time to spend on this, but it's very crucial. When you look at this is raw material. This is raw. When you don't have knowledge, see what you get. For bauxite, look at the value in naira or in dollar. For 5 tons, what do you get? You can only accommodate one worker. With the workforce is that, what is this? This is, but ordinarily you should see the value in dollar. So the same thing from $5 to about 50. No, these are tons. I can't USD per ton. So $5, $15, 1,300, 1,800 to 8,000 when you had knowledge to the same product. Hello? what knowledge is all about. This is the stage where Nigeria should be. If you look at what has been happening, Nigeria has moved in the last around 15 years, or specifically in the last 12 years, we have moved from, I don't know, around 44 in the world to top 30 economy. But when you look at the global innovation index, we are over 100. I think the last count must be about 126 out of 144 countries. 150 out of 140. So we are not doing well, whereas we are supposed to be doing exceptionally well. And this is the reason, this is the point that I would like the ministry to begin to think seriously about. We have good thinkers. We have people who are leading institutions within and outside our country. And there's no reason why we should continue to sit on the fence. These are developing economies. Again, for those of you who have listened to me previously, I must have explained this slide very well. But that's where we are. And you can see that developed economies are the people who are benefiting so much from this same data. We are making progress. After this, I'm going to move very quickly. This is so crucially important. Those of us, I don't know whether you can see it. Please, gentlemen, this is where Nigeria is. Most of the developed world are here. We can, at the moment we have crude oil. Crude oil is under the ground. So we are essentially running a factor-driven economy. And the returns are so small. In fact, the people you engage also so small. The development you get is so small. This is where we are. We need to move here, and we need to get here very quickly. This is the knowledge-driven economy that I'm saying that we should together be working towards. The Chinese of this world, once upon a time, the Singaporeans of this world, once upon a time, who are on the same level. I can tell you specifically in 1960, when 63, when Lee Kuan Yew took over in Singapore. This was Nigeria and Singapore about the same level. But within 3 decades, it transformed that country from the third world like Nigeria to what they are today. One of the top 10 economies in the world. They don't have land. They don't have enough population. They don't even have the water they drink. This water they only last year they moved away from the contract with Malaysia. The last 15 or so years they have been importing water that they drink. But today, look at okay. Yes, I have to pause. Okay. Thank you very much, man. As soon as Madam is ready to leave, you know I'm your boy. I will. So, gentlemen, let's make a quick program so that all of us can be glad. Again, this is the relationship. I just want to knowledge economy, what it's all about. This is very important. I'll just say this, and the next few slides, I'm going to wrap up. The knowledge economy that we're talking about is not far away. This is the beauty. It's not as if it's so far away. Just look at few examples. Information and communication technology. Those of you know the history of our ministry. We spun off NITBA. If you're here, let me see your hand. NITBA representative. It was from our ministry that NITBA came out from. Today, they are controlling the global economy. In fact, when you look at the GDP of Nigeria, you see ICT and all tech, all of learning so critically important, policy is so important, business entrepreneurship is so important. I have to rush now, I'm sorry, but if you have time, you can go through the 4 pillars of knowledge economy. You can see that there's one here that is so esoteric that we cannot catch if we are committed to it. And this is the reason. This is what I'm putting today. In actual fact, Mr. Chairman, the chairman of the board, and overseeing DG, that this day, the day, Massacre Day, ordinarily should have kick-started the whole of this Expo. Because that's when you have the people in power. This is when you have the people who should really listen to some of this argument. I've been talking to my colleagues for several years, and I think I'm getting fed up. I want to talk to the private sector. I want to talk to those of you who are looking, who are initiating good institutions, etc., etc. Okay, I'm speeding up. These are the content design. Our boys and girls are doing exceptionally well. I don't know whether you know, in the last 6 years, I did a study for UNESCO Science Report 2016 to 2021. It was published last year. In Africa, we have attracted so many billions, over $4 billion in the last 5 years, creating close to 460 tech startups, more than 30% of that from Nigeria. Lagos is now the tech startup capital of Africa. From nowhere, 2016 to where we are today. So who is telling us that we cannot? We are ready to compete. I'm making progress. I don't want to talk about all of this because we know, again, research innovation, why it's so critically important. Those of you who do not know, the primary responsibility of Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation is to engage in research and through research to innovation through commercialization. That's the primary responsibility. We are not competing with Ministry of Education. We are not competing with other institutions, Earth and Greek. We are saying that give us the mandate, let us coordinate the research content such that research can lead to product in the market. Only yesterday, I was chairman here with natural medicine. They brought about 14 products, new products, that can solve a really serious problem. My friend were with me yesterday, yes. It was very clear, that's the direction we have to go. We are looking for product will create jobs will create additional money, including foreign income, and from there we can grow and turn our economy from third world to first world within a very short time. These are institutions elsewhere. I don't have the time to talk about it. I've just given examples here. Normally I IT, but today I have other ones. Those of you who have the time, please go through it. Now, the title of my presentation ordinarily is the policy implementation, STI policy implementation and knowledge economy. So for those of you who haven't seen it, this was approved last year by Mr. President. I think it will be a year, February last year, yes. April last year, it was approved, and these are the highlights of that. Again, what is important, the mistake we used to make in the past when we formulate policies is that we think that a policy is a standalone thing. It's not. Policy has to be connected to something. The beauty of the National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy is the fact that it's connected intricately with the National Economic Planning. It shouldn't go wrong. It should not go wrong because it's connected to the National Economic Planning, and every other thing fell into place. The key outcomes, we said we don't want to be a jack of all trade and master of none, so there is a need for us to set priorities. The funding, we decided, those of you listen to the comment of Mr. President, President Buhari, at the opening ceremony delivered by the Chief of Staff. He emphasized the 0.5% of GDP that this government is prepared to commit to funding R&D so that we can mind to the market at no time. This is important. I want you to note it. Go and check the newspapers. Just 3 days ago, he confirmed that. He confirmed to us at the Federal Executive Council, and then he confirmed again at the starting of this meeting. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that's so critically important. I'm making progress. What we are done with the STI policy this year is to expand it to cover many of the activities that I highlighted earlier on. So we are not just talking to ourselves, we are talking to the nation. Policies, governments govern through policies. Anywhere in the world, governments govern through policies. So the articulation of workable, concise policy is so critically important to any government effectiveness. And therefore, that was done in our own case. So you can see that from 2012 to 2022, we expanded from just 8 strategic objectives to 14 that we now see. I'm making progress, madam. Implementation planning. You can see that the implementation planning is still at the draft stage. The Ministry, Department of Planning, Policy Analysis as well as NASETEM have been intricately linked to that. They just asked me to give them some level of support, which we did. So from what we have done, I have some highlights of that. Overview of the implementation plan. Again, it's not the forum for us to talk about it, but it's there for those of you who may wish to look at it. My friend that is here seated, the executive of the presidential executive order 5, who can between that and the national science, technology and innovation policy. Ordinarily, this is good lecture for 1 hour, what to say here. But I just want us to focus on here. This is presidential executive order 5, the local content, which is what drives patronage, procurement. It's so critically important. You see science, national science, technology and innovation. You see the national economic planning. You see knowledge economy. You see national innovation system that we are driving. You see those who are critical players in the within the national innovation system. And then, including Nigerians in diaspora. They have the money, they have the knowledge, they have the know-how, they have the technology, and they have the willingness. They are ready to roll. It's only for us to connect with them and be able to gain a lot. If you tell me you have a product and it's waiting to be commercialized on the shelf, it means you have not been talking to the right people. It means maybe you have been talking to teachers in the university or in the polytechnic. If you have been talking to serious entrepreneurs, when they see money, they save money, they know how to pursue it. I do a little bit, just a little bit. Challenges, there are many. Again, this is not a time for us to dwell on the challenges, but this is so critically important. Infrastructure, institutions, people, intellectual capital. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is a currency of 21st century. Take it anywhere. You have a job. You can come back smiling all the time. The others are there. I don't have the time to look at all of them. Strategy, I think I listed about 5 strategies, and this is concluding now. First is to build capacity. It is no longer sufficient for a nation like Nigeria to have experts in physics. And my first degree is in physics. My PhD is in physics, but it's no longer sufficient. My physics is almost not so useful until I move to policy space, because governments govern through policy. I'm a material scientist. I was developing new materials to make solar panels, solar cells. But there are so many Nigerians who can do that. What I will realize we didn't know how to do is to manage that knowledge. And this is how technology management came into being. And up to now, I can tell you, we are still perhaps the most serious about this issue in the sub-regions, the 16 countries in the sub-region, because at least I deal with 8 of them almost on a daily basis. But I know that the capacity is not enough. It's not enough. So we have to continue to build capacity, and therefore we have to continue to strengthen an institution like NASETEM as we go. Triple helix is easy. The National Innovation System has key elements which are highlighted. A critical component of the National Innovation System, once you move your research institutions, education institutions, the private sector, the banking sector, and of course the government, there are 2 new elements there. The diasporas and the civil society. We have to find a way to connect them. In actual fact, I can tell you, and this PS is here, one of the reasons for ensuring that this is here is to connect all these people together. I've seen people from diaspora here. I went through that place yesterday. We have private sector practitioners, universities were invited. I see many of them stand. Our public research institutes are there. One of the beautiful things. But we have to do much more than that. In fact, I connected with them immediately. I said there must be proper documentation so that we can learn lessons over time. There must be proper documentation. Unless you have today, part of knowledge economy is data analytics. Data analytics. Most countries in the world, they rely on data. Don't just do things and forget about it. There must be dimensionalization. You have to put dimensions on issues. etc., etc. So that's triple helix. And thank God, UNESCO, I've not been able to mention them. This is the project they want to fund. I think I have to tell you, and I'm happy the PS is here. They want to fund this project now in West Africa. I don't think I can say much more than that, but we can develop a proposal to fund this. What is it? I talked about it before. This is to ensure that if Mohammed will not go to mountain, those of you are of that religion, please forgive me. The mountain will move to Mohammed. We are trying to force the interaction. We want those of you who have ideas to be linked with entrepreneurs who have the money, who have the know-how, the venture capitalists of this world. We want to force them, forcing them meaning just bring out your phone and you can connect with people who will assist you. I can tell you in the last 10 years, I on my own brought up more than 4 or 5 young boys. Now one of them has head office in the US. He was invited to African Leadership Forum with Joe Biden recently. This started only 8 years ago. They will have the brains. They had the ideas. All I had to do, as of that time I was digital certain, was to give them the impetus. Today they are doing exceptionally well. And there are so many other stories. We're almost there now. This is the National Innovation System. All the things that we need are in this diagram. You see the connection that you need. You see, this is technological entrepreneurs. This is, I can't read that, brokerage between finance and, these are people elsewhere in the US, they call them business angels. They go around to sniff what they are doing. Many of our research institute, they have a product, one, they cannot multiply. Fortunately, the ministry has a Naseni, once upon a time, they are with us, the stand is out there. They have rapid prototyping, so they can multiply that thing and still give you the same sort of thing. This is second to the last slide now, I want to believe. Build relevant STI infrastructure. That's what Presidential Executive Order 5 is emphasizing. We need to build relevant infrastructure. Tech ops, incubation centers, and T-parks. Thank God the one in Shesco is about to take off. So I'm sorry that I have to rush, but these are all the issues that we need to look at. National R&D priority setting, this is the strategic action, and this is the last one. We need to, thank God that Madam is here, and the Director of Planning, Research and Policy Analysis is here. Mr. President, 3 days ago confirmed the 0.5%. The 0.5% of Nigeria's GDP is massive. I listened to yes, it's massive. Yes, indeed, originally it was 1%. But Mr. President was quite honest with Nigerians. He said that may be too much for Nigeria to start with. Let's take a step at a time. He repeated severally. So we need to put together what I call an advocacy group to ensure that indeed we're able to tap into that. 0.5% is plenty. If he's able to do that before the change of government, that would be wonderful. I think Tech Fund, this is the final point. For those of you who are here who are chief executives of Research Institute, there must be a very good argument for Research Institute to be given access to Tech Fund. Tech Fund will move from 3 billion to about 8 billion. They are going to about 12 billion this year. Please, there must be a way for public research institutions to be given access. Again, I don't have all the time, and I think this must be other strategies, no time. The final one is to speak to this, which is the final slide. Again, I want to quote from one of the most celebrated Nigerian, Philip Emeagali. He said in human history, and this is the last slide, technological development and economic growth have gone hand in hand. Yes, schoolboy stuff. They move hand in hand. A nation that is second to none in science is second to none where? In economic power. Think about the nations. US, China, India today, United Kingdom, Germany. This is the order. That's second to none. The grand challenge now, this is coming back home, for African scientists is to make enough discoveries and inventions and innovations that we can domesticate very quickly and make sure we diffuse them into our economy. Indeed, according to Phillips Inagari, it is innovation and technology that creates new products and are added new jobs, which in turn create wealth, alleviate the poverty of all of us. Thank you very much. I'm particularly delighted. Please, I'm sorry for wasting a little bit more of your time. Thank you very much. God bless you, man. Thank you very much. Chairman, thank you. Thank you.
Please let's put our hands together for Professor Owolabi Shiyonbola. You agree with me that I didn't even introduce him properly. Okay? Deliberately I did that so that he would not turn out to be a politician. Okay? And what he has done is in line with all our politicians in Nigeria now. We are seeing results. They are delivering. If the president could say that 3 days ago, it then means that we have moved from where we used to be and we are almost there. And I believe sooner than expected, we will be there. That thought has taken us a radical departure from what we've all been listening to. Now knowledge has become the centerpiece of everything we want to talk about. But for time, I'm coming back to that. I will set the tone for talking point. We are going to interact. But quickly, I want to recognize some people that came in while Prof was talking. We have Mrs. Ada Oladunke representing the DG NOTAP in our midst. Madam, we recognize you. And the DG Natural Medicine also came in. You can't even mistake him amidst people. You always see him. I first fell in love with the French suit the moment he came and said, I love this. And that is Dr. Itatuve. Please a round of applause for him. You are welcome, sir. We also recognize in our midst Dr. Peter Ekwezo is the Director of Environmental Science Technology within the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. You are welcome, sir. Having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Permanent Secretary came in. Prof recognized her, but she needs to be recognized properly. Whatever we do here without the backing of the Federal Ministry of Science and Tech, I think we are just playing to the gallery. And our presence alone has demonstrated the kind of commitment from the FMSTI to what we are doing here. And I'm aware she has one or two things to say, to tell us that indeed Nasetem is our baby. And when you see the mother will always protect the baby and say, hey, you are doing well. And I know that's what we are going to hear from her. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Mrs. Munilola Udo.
Thank you. MC, you can't bribe me, and you can't put words in my mouth. Good afternoon, everyone. Directors in the ministry, DGs here present, Professor Shiyonbola, our host DG Nasetem. I recognize everyone. Good afternoon. Let me apologize for coming in late. You will agree with me that being the Permanent Secretary in the ministry, I'm still a public servant, so I still owe my allegiance to my principals in the head of service and in the presidency. So I have a lot of engagements today. So please pardon me. I'm here now, so we'll have some fun together. I want to say a few words to you from my heart. Then I want to respond to a few of the points I have gathered since I came in. So, let me say the good ones first. Mr. President
re-emphasized or re-echoed his commitment of granting 0.5% of the GDP to R&D in Nigeria. I think he deserves a round of applause. If we had this about 20 years ago, I think we'll be a little bit nearer our goal than we are today. But all the same, we're all work in progress, aren't we? So we appreciate that from Mr. President. Secondly, I want to inform us, gladly also, that TED Fund is actually a partner in this Expo this year. And it may interest you to note that the ministry has a subsisting MOU with TED Fund. Before we came, it has been signed and all of that. But when I got to know that we actually have an MOU with TED Fund, but what has happened? Nothing is easy. So I said, In fact, this is the lost story. The executive secretary of TED Fund happened to be my own boss in the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. And we did a lot together to encourage tech startups. You know, we had incubation centers in Lagos, the Innovation Hub in Lagos, the Yaba. We were there to start all of those with Dr. Omobola Johnson, who was the pioneer minister of communication at the time, 2011, 2012, 2013. So we did a lot to bring together, you know, the key stakeholders in the triple X that Prof mentioned, the academia, the industry, and government. No one of those three can do it alone. Before now, I'm a product of IFE, by the way, not University of IFE, because I left in 1985. That's when I graduated. Yes. So before, we had, you know, research grants from the likes of World Bank, all those, you know, big money bags in America that after exploiting Africa, they want to give a little back. So they are giving grants, research grants to professors. And the happy professors at the time are those ones that could access those research grants. And they will carry out their research. Guess what happens to the product? He who pays the piper dictates the tune. So when they do the research, the output, we don't see it in Nigeria. They send it to their principals, the people that funded those researches. But thank God we are moved from that era to where government actually funds research in some institutes. And a lot of the research institutes that God created since 1958 are put under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. And we have 17 agencies, and there are research institutes under those agencies. So if you look at the network, you see that, yes, we have our tentacles across the country. Now, one thing that I've noticed since I joined the ministry in April 2022 is that the synergy is not strong enough. Yes, it exists, because every year there's a platform like this called Expo, where the ministry tries to bring together all the stakeholders in the sector for the purposes of sharing knowledge, of collaboration, of reducing duplicates or duplicated efforts amongst the agencies, and bringing about a stronger synergy that will improve the quality of the products that come out of those research institutes. Today, 2023, I still observe today, while going around the exhibition stands, that we still have a lot of duplication. I see Faro, I see Nilest, I see NACRIT, some other agencies with their research institutes conducting research on the same raw materials and getting the same results, I think we're wasting efforts, we're wasting resources, we're wasting brain power and man hours. I will suggest that we apply the 5 C's that the Honorable Minister always says everywhere he goes. And the 5 C's are as follows. Communication. That is what we're doing right now. And the whole world is listening to us. So we're communicating our pains. We're communicating our gains. We're communicating our potentials. We're communicating what is possible. And we're asking investors, please come in and take advantage of the resources and the special opportunities that exist in Nigeria. We're communicating these ideas. So communication is number 1. Second is collaboration. When somebody sees a product from Narcetem, for example, and they approach the DG, sir, we're interested in producing so and so, and we have seen, a technology from your agency. Can we work together? Can we commercialize this? Can we be an off-taker? Can we, introduce this to our own chamber of commerce where our businesses meet and all of that? We are beginning to do what? To collaborate. And when Narcetem talked to Niles to say, look, we have this product, we have that product, can we bring these two together in the value chain and add value? We're collaborating. Okay? The third one will be cooperation. When two parties now come together, I have the funds, you have the skills, or you have the knowledge, or you have the technology. I put my money in your effort, and then we come up with businesses. We're able to create wealth, we're able to create jobs, we're able to improve the economy, and increase our contribution to GDP. We're doing what? We're cooperating. Then we become partners. All right? So the fourth one will be, what is it now? Communication, collaboration, cooperation, cordiality. And when we do business and one party is faithful to the other party, we become what? We become friends. And then there's cordiality. Then you can trust one another. You can put your money and go to sleep, knowing fully well that that man will not scam you. So cordiality exists, and from there, trust is built, and then you can do more business together, improving one another. Finally is coordination, and that is where the ministry comes in. We are there, we have the mandate to coordinate the activities of the agencies under our jurisdiction. We are to create that enabling environment for the industry to thrive. And industry is one of the legs of the triple X. Industry, the private sector, all right? And I like what the professor said about additional 2 members of this, cooperation or cooperating party, which is the civil society and the diaspora. Now, remember, the diasporas are Nigerians. We have worked very hard. We have sent them there. They have gained the knowledge, the skills, the expertise, and also they have some financial muscle. Because anybody that is earning $1,000 a month is how much is he earning in Nigeria? More than ₦500,000 in a month. And when he puts that together and saves for a couple of, and he's sending home, they are repatriating, some of the money they make, and they are increasing our GDP locally, and they are improving the well-being of their parents and dependents, and all of this is all beautiful and positive. Now, when we now encourage them to come, they bring what? Their wealth of experience, their skills, the knowledge, and all of the exposure that they've gotten from those places. One more thing. They know who the manufacturers of those equipment that we lack at home. They know them, and they know the good ones, they know the cost-effective ones. They can then advise those of us who have never left the shores of this country to say, look, you want to do vaccine for this one, this is how we do it over there. And Nigerians are everywhere there. All the sensitive positions out there, you will see Nigerian brain behind it. What is wrong with us then as Nigerians? So I think the 5 C's are the key to unleashing this growth that we crave for so much. All the resources are there, material resources, and the human resources are also abundant. Nigeria is a very young population. What does that mean? It means that majority of the people in Nigeria, the Nigerians, are actually within the productive age of between 15 and 35. Now we can increase it to 45. I'm a youth though, but I'm 60 years old now. So I'm still a youth. I see myself as a youth because I'm very young in my heart. And I work a lot with young people. It's very interesting. So on this note, don't let me take too much of your time. I have a lot more to say to us, but I think we'll have the opportunity to interact again. So I want to thank you very much for listening and for your attention. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Ma. Please a round of applause for the permanent secretary one more time. I wasn't surprised. You know, the moment she said she's a product of Ife. There's no way you will see products of Ife and you will not recognize them. There are just two universities in Nigeria. It is Ife and others. And that is why we are the king of all universities. And they call us Oba Awon Universities. That was beautifully done. We appreciate you. I guess the point for me, the key talking point for me from what the permanent secretary just said is about those 5 C's. That the synergy is not really there, and she has set the tone for the discussion we quickly want to have. Communication, collaboration, cooperation, cordiality, and then coordination. These C's are very important. And I think with that, I'm going to be entertaining some few questions so that we interact quickly and then we can close this session because Proda is breathing on my neck and we have to leave quickly. Sir, you are 1, 2, 3. I think we should leave it there so that they can also have their day. Quickly. $60 seconds, sir.
I'll be very brief. I recognize the chairman of the Government Council. I recognize our sister, the permanent secretary, and the audience. I'll be very brief. There are 2 diagrams on my brother's presentation, which I'm going to tie to the last slide by Megwali. I want to start the bee's nest, and I want us to sting ourselves before we leave here. This graph showing where Nigeria is relevant. The first quadrant here, about product development, is relevant. The last statement by Megwale is germane. Can I request humbly that from the next Expo, Madam, NASETEN should be the first presentation so that the policymakers will be here. My brother mentioned it at the beginning of his presentation. Lastly, can I humbly request that Africans develop the Lagos plan? And I want to resolve that we should tie this lecture to the Lagos plan. I think we can get somewhere. I will say more than that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I take number 2 quickly. And number 3 also should come closer so that we don't.
Good evening, everybody. All protocols duly observed. I am a product of NASETEN. I did a PGD in NASETEN. I'm currently doing a master's degree in NASETEN. The day when I have a degree in economics and I have a degree in mechanical engineering. But you know that the PGD in NASETEN made me seem as if I've just been educated. Even the master's degree in technology management in NASETM, it opens you up. So sometimes I told my lecturer, I said, see, please, is it possible to replace this PGD with NYSC? No, on a serious note, you were talking about building capacity. NASETM can help in that area. If NASETM has other areas in other parts of the country, it opens you up. I thought I was an illiterate when I did that PGD. And sir, let me tell you this, sir. Somebody from NASETM applied for master's degree abroad. When they looked at what he had covered, they gave him a PhD. You understand? They gave him a PhD, a product of NASETM. So please, sir, keep up the good work. And there's this question I want us, sir, God bless you, sir. NASETM, the next Expo, sir, please, NASETM should present first, because all our professors have said the policy implementers should be there. Now we have everything we need. You understand? We need the policy implementers to be there, and if they are there, no, this country is blessed. Yes, and I want to say, let us look at what is the topmost binding constraint to policy implementation in Nigeria, and what decisive actions can we help to overcome it. We have good policies, housing policy. You see all the policies, very good policies. Amen. It's just that we don't have time. Why are we not implementing them? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Quickly, I take number 3, and then there will be reaction. That will be the last one, so that we allow.
Looking at our present security situation in Nigeria, I would like to put across to us this question. In what way can we use STI to tackle insecurity?
All right, thank you. Because it is only in a secure environment that we can diversify economy. With the permission of the permanent secretary, they are saying I must balance the gender, and the woman is raising her hand. Madam, please, 30 seconds. And it has started counting. It has started counting. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on existing protocol, please, I just want to make a request on behalf of everybody here. Because the quality of lecture that we've gotten from Prof today, if we're supposed to go and pay, I don't know how much we pay to get that lecture. Please, sir, can you be kind enough to make available a soft copy of your presentation for us so that we can work with it? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a done deal. As long as you have registered, I can assure you before 10 a.m. tomorrow, you have the lecture in your mail. Okay, you start having it from tonight. That I can promise. Quickly, we are going to take responses, and I guess because of a question revolving around policy, I want to humbly request that the permanent secretary will actually help us respond to one or two. Please, a round of applause for her.
Thank you very much for that question. Like I told you, in anything we do in life, if we apply those 5 C's I discussed, we will get the solution. Now, coming down to the policy implementation, yes, Nigeria has a lot of policies, and it is not by chance. It is because government has the role of providing enabling environment for the academia to do their work, for students to be in school, for the industry to thrive. conducive atmosphere through policies and policy guidelines. Now, implementation is where the challenge is. And why do we have that challenge? If Nigerians are the ones that crafted the policies in the first place, how come implementation is a problem? Two things. One, funding. But we can just keep funding aside for a second and look at the commitment that comes from patriotism and love for country. Anytime I'm thinking about this, it brings tears to my eyes. I've been to the East, I've been to India, I've been to Korea, I've been to China. If you see the sense of urgency they exhibit, and it is in their DNA, it's not that they are pretending because visitors are around. No. The sense of urgency is built into their DNA as children, as babies. They begin to train them to have a sense of urgency. That's number one. Number two, they are very, very loyal to their country. They love their country. They can sacrifice anything for their country. And then when government says A, the entire populace is saying A, A, A. Everywhere you go, A, A. You don't hear A minus here and get A plus here and get small a here and get big A here. This is what we have in Nigeria, and it is a problem that personally I have thought about it and said, what do we do? So I said to myself, I resolve in my mind that I choose to be different. If each and every one of us seated here today chooses to be different, you will see that we'll begin to form a rippling effect that before we know it, it gathers momentum, and before we know it, everybody is doing the right thing in his or her corner. So the problem with implementation is that our attitude to work is very poor. We don't love Nigeria as much as we should, and it's unfortunate because Nigeria is the most beautiful country in the entire universe. But I don't know, we are living in denial. Some people are jackpotting because they feel there's no good coming out of this country. What a fallacy, what an error, what a mistake. There's no country that doesn't have its own challenges. Some people will just wake up in the classroom and start shooting innocent children. We don't have that yet, but I'm not praying that we should have it. Please, Nigerians will solve Nigeria's problem. Purport in your hearts that this rule that government says we should do for the betterment of all, let's do it. Queue when you're supposed to queue. Take your turn when it's your turn. So please, the problem is there, we're seeing it, but we are the problem of our country. If each and everybody purpose in his heart to do the right thing, you see that policy implementation will be child's play, because it will then be part of us to do the right thing. So my answer to that question is that Nigeria should please do the right thing, and you see that all those laws we have, all those policies will be implemented in autopilot mode. Thank you very much. Funding is another issue, but when we begin to deploy the 5 C's, funding will become not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I need to quickly give us some announcements. As soon as we leave this hall, we'll go outside there. We have our group photograph, and we can network. And let me also say this is an ongoing discussion. What we are going to do is to create a Telegram group for all of us, and then with the Telegram group, answers also will be provided for some of the questions that may be coming. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Overseeing Director General, NASETEM, Dr. John Umemakinde, and the entire management staff, we appreciate you for your time, and we hope to see you not just next year, but see you at our different programs going forward. Thank you very much and remain blessed. Please let's put our hands together for ourselves one more time. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, distinguished participants. This is a very important announcement. Tomorrow, as from 12 noon, there's going to be
Committee Chairman on Linkages and Collaboration, MBTI. You are highly welcome, sir. I wish to welcome Honorable Ralph Osweke, the ASA Minister of State, Science, Technology and Innovation on National Assembly. You are highly welcome, sir. I humbly welcome Franklin Okoye of Frankfurt Port Engineering Limited. You are highly... Okay. Of Federal Ministry of Education. Sir, you are highly welcome, sir. I wish to welcome Mrs. Florence Karim, Assistant Director, MBTI. I wish to welcome our own Director, MBTI, Nuhu Abubakar. Sir, you are highly welcome, sir. Thank you and welcome in our midst, sir. I wish to welcome I wish to welcome Mrs. Angela Wachuku, Director, PR&D, ICT, FCT, Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. You are highly welcome, ma'am. You are welcome, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I wish to welcome some of our directors and heads of departments here present. Engineer Dr. E.C. Oyako, the head Director, Engineering, Research and Development Production, ERBP, Probo. Sir, you are welcome. I wish to welcome Dr. Mrs. Irene Ohuara, ably represented by Mr. Hyginus Eke of Finance and Account Department, Proba, Enugu. Sir, you are most welcome, sir. I welcome once again Mrs. Amaka Ude, Head Director or Head Audit Department, Proba, Enugu. Mama, you are welcome, ma'am. I wish to welcome Mr. Andrew Okoyike, Head Maths Department, Proba, Enugu. Sir, you are welcome, sir. I wish to welcome again in our midst Mrs. Grace Uwebute, Head Human Resource Management, Proba, Enugu. Now you are highly welcome. I wish to welcome Honorable Angus Natu, Head Ceramic Production and Development Department, Proba, Enugu. Sir, you are welcome. I wish to welcome Namoche Peter, Director Agric, Biotech, Science and Tech, Otako. Sir, you are highly welcome. I wish to welcome Machuku Angela again. Okay. I wish to welcome Mrs. Okonna Stella, AD Library, or Assistant Director Library, Mazda, representing the DG. You are highly welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. I wish to welcome Engineer Dr. Chioma Ogwa, the Head, Industrial Promotion, Information and Documentation Department, IPID, Enugu. You are highly welcome, ma'am. I wish to welcome my own brother, representing us, the Director Press, FCT, Science, STI. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. I wish to welcome our own engineer, head procurement unit, Brother Enugu Engineer Ifeanyi Ofini. Sir, you are most welcome, sir. I wish to welcome my own sister, Chidoma, our friend, you are highly welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. While the recognition is still ongoing, I will crave our indulgence. Let's start with the opening prayer, please. And for the opening prayer, I propose we take the second stanza of the national anthem. Let's stand up, please. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true, to build a nation where peace and justice reign. Amen. Thank you so much. May we get seated. Thank you. I wish to welcome my own friend, Joshua Okoro Odoinde, Director of Finance and Accounts, Philly, Oshodi, Lagos. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. I wish to welcome Ada Oladunke, Deputy Director, representing DG, NOTAB. You're welcome, ma. Thank you. I wish to welcome Mohammed Sahib, Assistant Director of CT. You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you. If you have the program, thank you. I wish to welcome Barrister I.M. Hassan, Director Legal Services, MBTI. Please pardon my mistake, sir. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. I wish to welcome. Okay, more others. How do you go to name? I wish to welcome Barrister E.C. Okedion, representing Divisional Legal Services, FMSTI. You're welcome.
welcome them. I wish to welcome Dr. Jumai Adamotitua, the Director General of FILO. Ma, you are highly welcome, man. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's take a brief citation of the DG CEO of Project Development Institute, Foda Enugu. Engineer Dr. Peter Okudilichukwu Obodo was born on the 6th of August 1968. He hails from Ono Akachi village in Alamo, the Soka local government area of Enugu State. He attended Hilltop Primary School, Obodo, after which he proceeded to St. Teresa's College in Soka for his secondary education. He gained admission to the University of Nigeria in Soka, where he came out with flying colors as a mechanical engineer. He later proceeded to Nigerian University, where he passed a Master's of Engineering in Mechanical and Production Engineering. He took his educational sojourn to Harbin Institute of Technology, China in 2011 and came back as a Doctor of Philosophy in Mechatronics Engineering. His quest for digitalization and the automation of government businesses deepened his quest for knowledge. Hence, he attended e-government capacity building programs in Nigeria, e-government invitational training in South Korea, and developing digital government strategies in Singapore, all in 2019. He is an experienced, competent, and well-trained researcher in the fields relating to computing, information system, technology management, and engineering, with expertise in flight simulation, space docking, and electronic hydraulic simulation and testing systems. He is a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers (NSC) and a registered engineer with the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria (COREN). Before his appointment as the Director General of Project Development Institute, Foda Enugu, on the 3rd of June 2022, he started his civil service career at the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi FILO, before moving to the National Board for Technology Incubation, NBTI, where he worked at Mary Enugu Center in different capacity before rising to the Director of Information and Communication Technology, ICT. He has numerous awards and about 29 publications to his credits, both locally and internationally. Dr. Obodo is one man that doesn't have failure in his dictionary. He is a tenacious, dogged, unfiltered, articulated, and passionate leader who will go extra mile just to make a difference. He is a man with great ideas, a team leader par excellence, an astute leader, a brilliant engineer who believes in results more than the process, a man who prefers teaching you how to fish than giving you the fish, a disciplinarian to the core, a role model to many, a humble but perfect gentleman. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our own DG, Engineer Dr. Peter Okudilichukwu Obodo, to the podium for his welcome address. DG sir, please let's give him a wonderful round of applause. Thank you, my DG.
Thank you very much, my panel. myself on the existing protocols. And I also want to use the opportunity to thank each and every one of us for honoring us. My colleagues in MBTI, they are very well represented. My colleagues in fellow, very well represented. And I also collect DGs, they are also very well represented. And that's a very good solidarity. And I'm not taking your personal self for granted. I take it as a very big honor. And everybody that the MC has not really warmly welcomed, I want to welcome you especially for being here. I know you are here for us. My advice, it is with great pleasure and every sense of humility that I welcome you all to this year's product day. The theme of this year's Expo, Actualizing Effective Diversification of Nigerian Economy through Science, Technology, Innovation, is auspicious and apt, especially in this post-COVID-19 era where it has been established that science, technology, innovation is the only way out of the growth and stability of our dream. Poland has remained one of the leading research institutes in the country since its creation in 1971, with all adherent and improvement to its mandate, which gave birth to the numerous research and development achievements that are consciously and unconsciously geared towards the diversification of the economy. This can be attested through development and production of its agro and agro-aligned machineries, as well as other numerous R&D achievements that are ready for commercializations and market driving. We are challenged the research institution to keep to the prevalent mood of the nation championed our indefatigable honorable minister, Senator Dr. Adeleke Mamora, and Honorable Minister of State Chief Henry Iko. Our realization that we can't operate in silos has seen reach out to industry, personal institutions, other research institutes to help create the synergy required to contribute to economic growth of Nigeria through STI. Product management innumerable demand-driven research over the past 40 years have led to innovative breakthrough and made a major impact in diverse sectors of the economy, which are these agro-allied, construction, chemical, energy, metallurgical, electrical, electronics, automotive, ceramics, many of which are ready for commercialization. May I please pass out to welcome our Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Monimana, who's the call Moni Udo. A very powerful woman, a mother to all of us. Usually mother all of us DJs has her children. Mother call me welcome. Some of these research breakthroughs are design and production of soybean, flour mill processing flow line, design and production plantain flour processing flow line, design and production of product school pens relevant for the education sector, design and production of pen and charcoal electrical processing sector relevant for the energy sector and well impacted and ready for commercialization. Design and production of refractory bricks relevant for our furnace linings in a wide range of industries and 90% impacted. Design and production of ceramic multi-burners cooking stove for domestic purpose and alternative source of cooking. Design and production of sawdust briquettes for domestic fire energy by converting waste to wealth. Design and production of ceramic filter candle and pots with the most friendly method of water treatment materials. Submit are used to achieve its best sort of the pH level that is WHO standard. Design and production of solar lighting system. Design and production of high voltage power surge for the production of electrical appliances. Production of alpha dye from cashew nut liquid. This is also another source of wet applicable to the textile, leather and petroleum industries. Product foundry section has been equipped to serve and produce various types of motor spare parts with high quality standards. Collaboration and linkages. The collaboration with the Institute of Mineral and Technology we run a diploma program in ceramics technology, and many teachers have benefited from this. We partner with GET for Korea University Enugu for the practical training of our students in engineering and electrical field. We also partner in collaboration with raw material research development agencies, organize the trend for Kashi Cocoa Local Potters, Niger State, on modern ceramic production techniques. Collaboration with the State University of Science and Technology on electrical services provision. We therefore call on more investors, collaborators, and partners to tap into our numerous commercializable research products. As we share our experience and showcase our R&D activities in the presentation of the day, we are mindful of our role as technology leader through the years, committed to helping sustain national economic growth through STI. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and members of the press, on behalf of the entire management team, I thank you all for honoring our invitation. Enjoy the STI ride with us this evening. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, my DG. Please, let's give him another round of applause. You know, my DG is a man of few words. He prefers action than words. Thank you so much. I welcome you once again, my namesake. I'll be like you when I grow up. Thank you so much for visiting us and honoring our invitation. Thank you and welcome, ma'am. I'd like to welcome to our Miss Dr. Yomisi Alsagbara, former acting DG, Philo. Thank you, welcome, ma'am. I welcome once again Dr. Balanle Ashiru, Director, PDD, Philo. You are welcome, sir. Thank you. I'd like to welcome in our midst Professor Geoffrey T. Baminas, DG, Marit, Zaria. You are welcome, sir. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Thank you. Okay. Thank you once again, my DG. Okay. I'd like to call to the podium. I'd like to call to the podium our board chairman, ably represented by Honorable Toyo Fowle, for his opening remark. The comrade himself. Thank you.
When the DG was introducing you, and he forgot to mention, to call you in full. Piero, when he was introducing you, he forgot to call your title in full. Dr. Mrs. Idoma Eze. God bless you, thank you. And when you were actually introducing, when you were mentioning his citation, you forgot to add that he is a DG with NAFDAC number. So, standing on the existing protocol, I will deviate a little because I must also recognize some people. Let me just start from my home base. That it gives me great pleasure to see my leader here. And when I say my leader, I mean the Mahu of Asiri family. That is Ashiwaju Igbo of Okutodo Badland, Professor Theophilus Udubako, a member of the Governing Board of FIO, and the Secretary General Chief Executive of the Academic Staff Union of Research Institutions, Asuri. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you, sir. The able permanent secretary, looking through your profile, man, I saw that you share something in common with our DG. You are both ICT professionals. I'm sure I'm right. You are both ICT professionals. Thank you so very much, ma. We appreciate you for everything that you stand for. And we appreciate the cooperation you gave us when we were going through the process of selecting a DG. And I want to say that fact that we have the round hole in the round peg is what has given us so much peace at Proda today. When we came on board, our major task was to transform Proda from a procurement agency to a research institute, which it was actually created to be. And when I say this, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, that the immediate task of the board then was to transform that institute. Because much of the news coming out of Proda then was about procurement, and procurement. And to the glory of God, that has been done today. And that is why we have Proda today, where there is peace, where there is progress, where there is understanding, where the board, the management, and the staff are on one single page. This being the case, let me just say a very big thank you to Mr. President for giving us a board. Because of the board of Proda, all of us are ever on the same page. I cannot remember any particular issue when we had any quarrel or we had any disagreement. And that is why we are where we are today. Having said this, I want to say, to welcome everybody, and to say that we are happy at what is happening at Proda today. The board is very happy. I'm sure the staff, they are very happy. Everybody is being carried along very well, and the job is going on very well. I saw something today, and I saw Engineer Dr. Oriaku demonstrating the multi-purpose grain to flour processing line, and I was so very happy. What we saw there is just a whole industrial complex. It's a whole industrial complex, and that is more of what we want to be seen from Proda. The DG is only about 6-7 months in office, just 6 months in office, and we can see that the transformation has started. I want to say it has just started and it will continue. On this note, let me also say thank you to the Chief Executive of Executive Order number 5, Engineer Ibiam. Thank you, sir, for being here and for doing what you are doing, what you know how to do best. Let me say a big thank you to the entire management team of Proda. Let me greet all the staff, all our visitors, all our friends, the DG of FIRO. Thank you for coming, ma. We really appreciate you. Thank you so very much. We thank all, the DG of NATA, everybody that is here. We just want to say a very big thank you. We welcome you all, and I'm sure we are going to have a sweet time this evening. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, I would like to call upon our own namesake, our own mom. She's in her house, and because of the love she has for us, she has to stay. And some people are waiting for her in the office. Please, let's give her a round of applause as she comes up to the podium to give us 1 or 2 advice. You're welcome, ma'am. Celebrate her now, please.
Thank you very much. Distinguished members of the STI sector, friends of the sector, investors, researchers, members of the press, thank you for being here this afternoon. I'm truly delighted to be invited to join my brother, the DG of Proda, on your day at the Expo 2023. By the way, this is my first Expo, and it happens to be the last in the life of this administration. I think there's a connection there somewhere. Hope is rising. Hope rising. And I look forward to a better organized Expo next year. I will set the ball rolling, but it's another permanent secretary that will host it. I'm not going to die. I will participate like any stakeholder, but I'm going to retire from service before next Expo. However, I'm very, very happy to be part of this. I joined the ministry in April 2022, so that means about 9 months, about 9 months old in the ministry. And honestly speaking, I must confess that what I've learned in 9 months is beyond a BSc program in the university. Yes, I have, a bit of science background. I read computer science at some point, and I had mathematics. Chemistry happens to be my best subject in school, so that was why I enjoyed the NARICT presentation this afternoon. However, we are about research and development in science, technology, and innovation. It's only right to add innovation to the name of the ministry and the mandate, because research brings about new knowledge that didn't exist before. And what is innovation? Doing things differently, introducing new ideas, bringing about new products, cheaper products, more efficient products. It's all about newness. And powder, what do we have? This is fuel. This didn't exist when I was growing up, so it's new. So this is innovation. But I have a few suggestions to make. Governance is a continuum. People started it before we got to our turns, and this is our turn. How do you want to be remembered for? So one of the things I would like us to take away from here this afternoon is to say, when I had the opportunity to be there, this is what I contributed. Number 2, let us in our own various corners strive to do the right thing. Number 3 is to say Nigeria belongs to me, belongs to us. I am going to fix Nigeria. You know why? Nobody will come from their own country to come and fix Nigeria for you. Guess what? What they will do is come and take their own, because there's abundance in Nigeria. And Nigerians don't know what to do with their abundant resources. Let's go there and take our own. Should we continue? Our mama don't do. Should we continue to allow them? We don't need to fight. We just need to do the right thing. And they will get the message that, Nigeria is no longer business as usual. Let us do the right things in our various desks where we find ourselves. Finally, let us make what we need and use what we make. If we do that, the economy of this country will be competing with China. Because China, before Chinese will buy something that is made by any other country, maybe that Chinese was born in that country and his parents or her parents are not bringing those things from China for him to use. So let's imbibe a little bit of this racism that is exhibited by the East. By the East. Nobody loves us. They love our resources. We need to believe that. They don't love us, they love our resources. So let us collaborate. Let's cooperate. Let's come together and speak with one voice and stand together as a united, blessed country, which Nigeria is. And if we do that as Nigerians, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of your background, irrespective of who your father was, let's come together, do the right thing, believe in this country, and it will be well with all of us. Hold on. This is your flagship product. Nigeria used to import pencil, but now I'm so proud to say this anywhere I go. But the challenge is, I don't see these pencils in bookshops and in shops that I go to. Why is this? I think we need to come together and support PRODA to take this technology to every corner of this country, north, south, east, and west. 200 million people. If we produce enough pencils for all our children to use from kindergarten to the university, do you think we need another country to buy this? Because the market is right here. Brothers and sisters, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you so wonderfully well, ma. Thank you so much. Change indeed begins with me and you. That is her message this evening. Let us be the agents of change. Wherever we are, whatever we do, let us start changing from us. Thank you so much once again, ma. Thank you. Let me quickly recognize the presence of Mr. Akinwumi Taiwo Shomafran, the Overseeing Director General of MBTI. You are so welcome, sir. I recognize the presence